Hello, I'm Jason. With so many new launches in the market today, how do you actually find out which option is a safe entry buy for you? The second half of 2025 will be very exciting for those of you who are looking into the central region. We are looking at about 9 new launches spread across different areas in the CCR region coming up in the second half of 2025, of which W Residences, Upper House, and Robertson Opus have already held their previews in early July. The next two upcoming projects will be Promenade Peak and River Green. Both are walking distance to Great Wall MRT and Great Wall City. I've personally explored around both areas. I don't know about you. I actually feel quite peaceful walking around there. Maybe it's because not a high density living area and not so crowded. So for those of you who prefer proximity to the city, yet away from the hustle and bustle of the city, and have a quiet and nice place to chill and relax when you're home, maybe this is something you can consider. So both River Green and Promenade Peak will be starting their preview on the 17th of July. Today, I'm going to spend some time to do a detailed analysis for you into both projects in terms of their location difference, compare their layout efficiency, and analyze their release guide price, do a comparison for you, and analyze against recent new launches and surrounding resale condos so you can decide for yourself if this is a project that you will feel safe entering. Now let's do a quick comparison on the attributes for both projects. For River Green and Promenade Peak, both are located in the core central region in District 9 and along River Valley area. The developer for River Green is Wing Thai Asia and Promenade Peak is All Green. The land size for both projects are around the same, around 100 over 1,000 square feet. The tenure for both projects are also the same, both are 99 years leasehold projects. The expected TOP date for River Green is 30th June 2030. For Promenade Peak, it is not yet to be announced. For both projects, they are single block projects with River Green up to 36 stories and Promenade Peak up to 63 stories. And if you have heard, this will be the highest residential condo in Singapore. Right. The number of units for both projects are also around the same, around 500 over units, with River Green at 524 units and Promenade Peak 596 units. The car park lots, however, for River Green appears to be significantly lesser compared to Promenade Peak, possibly due to a higher number of smaller units that's available in River Green compared to Promenade Peak. So there's about 269 car park lots for 524 units in River Green and 477 car park lots for 596 units in Promenade Peak. Now for your information, there will be a total of 5 new condos developed in this area. River Green and Promenade Peak, which is these two condos, has already been launched and will preview on the 17th of July. River Green and Promenade Peak will have the so-called first mover advantage if you plan to purchase a new condo in this area if you believe price will continue to increase in the future. 3 new plots at River Valley Green and 2 new plots along Zion Road area. Right? From here you can immediately notice the River Valley Green land shape. This one is very irregular compared to the other 2 plots at Zion Road, right? So it will be very interesting to see how the developers actually pan out their design in these irregular plots of land. Now let's do a quick comparison of the site plans. I'm actually quite impressed with how the developer has decided to push all the units into a single block towards the widest part, right? So the regular shape of the units can be maintained, unlike some older developments if you've been to, where developers sometimes shape the units into very odd shapes because of the land design. Also because it is only a single block, all units are regular shaped and have good privacy because no units are facing each other. If you're on the high floor, you can probably get some good unblocked views for both condos. For Promenade Peak, because the plot is more squarish in shape, right? There's nothing fancy about the design. What is similar is the single block of units where you can enjoy good privacy and unblocked views. Now if you compare the 5 plots of land here, it will be easy to see that River Green over here and Promenade Peak is actually the closest to the MRT and the mall. Right? I've taken a short video on site for these 2 new launches to show you exactly how near these 2 condos will be to the MRT and Great Wall City Mall in the future. One thing to note is that if you are someone who is more sensitive to noise, maybe River Green will be more suited for you because it is not next to the main road like Promenade Peak which can be a bit noisy. So if you look at Promenade Peak, it is actually located along Zion Road, which sometimes can be quite busy and noisy, compared to River Green, which is more inwards along the smaller roads. Hence, if you're there on site, you will immediately notice the difference in the noise level. Okay. Now let's take a look at how close River Green is to the MRT and mall. Right, just played a video for you. So this is River Green, and if you walk just maybe 2 minutes, you'll reach the MRT, and when you walk just around it, you'll reach Great World City Mall. That's how close you are, right? And if you're someone who enjoys nightlife, you can also choose to take a 10-minute stroll or cycle along Singapore River to the Robertson Quay for more food and action. So where are we exactly? This will be the exit for River Green. If you just turn around, just walk straight along this road, you'll reach Robertson Quay in about 10 minutes time. Now this is for Promenade Peak. See how it is just next to the MRT and mall as well. Yeah. So that's Promenade Peak. You just walk across Singapore River, there you are, you'll reach Great World City Mall. And just at Great World City Mall, there's another exit point for the MRT. Right. So similarly, it also takes about 10 minutes walk from Promenade Peak to Robertson Quay. Imagine taking an evening stroll along this path. How nice would that be, right? So that's where I'm pointing will be where you should head to along the Singapore River. Now let's take a look at the percentage of bigger units versus smaller units. I would have hoped for a bigger percentage of bigger units, especially 3 bedrooms for River Green, since the size is not big. It is only about 786 to 883, right? The quantum should be very palatable, but it's not so much of a surprise as CCR condos today, especially the younger ones, may tend to skew towards smaller units due to affordability of buyers. But on the other hand, I do notice that Promenade Peak is designed towards bigger unit size. The smallest unit you have at Promenade Peak is actually a 1 plus study. It doesn't have any 2 bed 1 bath or 1 bedroom. The 3 bedrooms are also quite big, starting from 1033 square feet. Let's take a look at the floor plans in a while to see if the 3 bedroom layouts make it a better buy for you if you intend to buy something for a homestay today. Alright. So we look at a percentage. Promenade Peak is about 67% of the smaller units. River Green 73%, for bigger units 27% for River Green, and 33% a bit more at Promenade Peak. We will not look through all the different floor plans as there are way too many. We'll just compare the typical layouts just to see the difference. If you would like to find out the floor plans, however, feel free to drop me a message at this number. First, for the 1-bedder where you can only find in River Green, I feel this will be a layout that is going to appeal to many people because of the semi-enclosed kitchen that you see over here right at the entrance. This is extremely rare in the market today. If you have seen and saw through or explore many new launches before this, I feel that with this layout, even if you are single, it's going to feel like a proper home for you. Now let's compare the 1 plus study layout. What we see from River Green is a very typical L-shaped kitchen layout, right, along the entrance, and it is easier for you to feel the wideness and the spaciousness of the living space actually, because once you enter the entrance, you actually feel the whole space over here. There's nothing blocking your vision, right? On the other hand, Promenade Peak went with a galley kitchen kind of concept, you see, with both sides, right? So when you enter through the entrance here, you'll pass through the kitchen like that. So apart from this, there's nothing too special about the layout. But I just realized the toilet actually comes with a window for Promenade Peak. So if you look at the master bath, there's actually a toilet. So for most smaller units, if you already know, they usually do not come with window. They usually come with the normal exhaust fans. So for those of you who prefer window in the toilet, this could be the layout for you. Alright, so moving on to 2-bed 1 bath layout, which is only available for River Green. You can view the actual show unit for this 2-bed 1 bath in the show flat. It also comes with a dumbbell layout with a semi-enclosed kitchen, like the 1-bedder, right over here. So which is nice, something that I feel more homeowners would be able to appreciate. For the 2-bed 2 bath, River Green also has a show unit that you can see. As mentioned earlier, for the bigger units like 2-bed 2 bath onwards, you will notice Promenade Peak will start to have slightly bigger layouts. Let's see where the difference is for the 2-bedroom. The main difference is likely at the main living space, a longer living area for Promenade Peak, right? And if it were me, comparing value and layout, maybe River Green would be a better choice for me, as a smaller size would also mean I pay cheaper. For the same rent, the yield for River Green would be much better for investment. Even for homestay, the semi-enclosed kitchen at River Green would also appeal to me more than the galley type of kitchen at Promenade Peak. Now let's take a look at the 2+ study layout. This time you can find a show unit at Promenade Peak. By now I think you know which one is my preferred layout. Definitely I like River Green layout a little bit better. Not that Promenade Peak is not good, it's just my personal preference to have a semi-enclosed or enclosed kitchen if possible. Okay, now let's take a look at the more interesting layouts, the 3-bedroom layouts. Okay, for the 883 square feet 3-bedroom layout at River Green, it is good to know that for such a size, River Green can still provide a storeroom and a normal size bedrooms to fit in queen size beds. Where you can see over here is the home shelter. You have an enclosed kitchen, a window, and all the bedrooms can fit in a queen size bed, a minimal queen size bed, right? And it is actually a very livable layout. For Promenade Peak, it comes with a bigger living area, right? As you see here, 35.2 square meter versus 29 square meters for River Green. The bedroom size are similar, 9 square meters compared to River Green, but something that edged out for Promenade Peak in this layout is that the developer has chosen to put all the bedrooms along one side. That means all of the bedrooms can enjoy the same natural brightness and view, compared to River Green, where one of the bedrooms, which is facing internally, right, maybe slightly darker, right, with probably no view or just a little bit of the view. Okay, for the 4 bedrooms, when I first saw that the size for River Green was 980 square feet, which is the typical size for 3-bedders, I was super skeptical. But after looking at it, I'm actually quite impressed how the developer has managed to squeeze everything inside without compromising much on the livability, right? All the bedrooms, as you can see, over here, over here, over here, and over here, can still fit in queen size bed. There's still a kitchen and storeroom, right? Kitchen, enclosed kitchen with windows over here and a storeroom, right? At this size, I think this 4-bedroom is going to be one of the cheapest you can find in core central region and also in River Valley, just because of the price quantum, which I will also do an analysis later. Very nice layout. The smaller 4-bedroom you can find at Promenade Peak is at 1,421 square feet. But unfortunately, I do not have the layout yet, so we will take a look at the bigger layout, which is 1,582 square feet. The selling point of this layout must be the landscape living layout that is 6 meters wide, right? As you can see over here, it is going to make your living room look extremely spacious and bright. And if you know, landscape living layout is extremely rare in the market today. And homeowners, when they go for viewings, when they compare portrait kind of living room layout versus landscape layout, you'll immediately feel the difference in the spaciousness of the whole area. Of course, you also have a private lift here and a luxurious kitchen and service yard, right? If you're someone who likes to cook, need a lot of space for your storage, this could be a good layout for you to consider. Now, for the 5-bedroom layout, there's no 5-bedroom at River Green, so we'll only take a look at the 5-bedroom layout for Promenade Peak. At 1,884 square feet, this is considered a very luxurious 5-bedroom size by today's standard. Similarly, it also comes with a landscape living room layout and private lift. All the bedrooms facing outwards, which means you will have a good view and brightness in all the bedrooms, which is something I really like. So that's all for the floor plan comparison. Now, let's move on to take a look at some data to see if the price makes sense or is it safe enough for you to enter. Now let's take a look at the guide price for these two projects. At one glance, I feel that River Green Quantum is very palatable for buyers, right? Let me explain more in detail later. Of course, Promenade Peak, which has bigger unit sizes, is naturally going to cost more. But you might also want to take note, because Promenade Peak is going to be almost 2 times higher, comparing 63-story to 36-story, there might be a big jump in the price quantum as you move to the higher floors at Promenade Peak. Now, let's compare the lowest entry price for each unit size. If you just compare like that, River Green would look more affordable for most buyers, right? And likely also sell more units because at the highest price quantum will only be kept at level 36 for River Green compared to Promenade Peak at level 63. So, make a guess. What do you think? Will River Green sell more than Promenade Peak? Okay, from now on, we are going to start looking at a lot of data to analyze the safety factor of the entry price, which some of you may find very boring. For price analysis, I will only be looking at 3-bedroom price for the benefit of time, and I also believe that it should give us a good enough gauge as to whether the launch price is safe to enter if you are interested in these two projects today. Of course, if you're keen to learn more on my price analysis for the other bedroom types like 1-bedder, 2-bedder, 4-bedder or 5-bedder, feel free to get in touch with me. Okay, let's go. Firstly, I think it's very important for us to understand what is the average 3-bedroom quantum and also the PSF in the different regions today for new launches. Why do I think it is critical for you to remember this? Because if I were a buyer today, the first thing I want to make sure is not to overpay for no reason. So if I can buy around the average price or lower, at least I'm paying average price and my risk is also lower. For fair comparison, we will take a look at 99 years project. Because of a lack of CCR projects in the first half of 2025, we saw the average PSF went down to around 260 over PSF, mainly due to the sale of one Burnham. For some of you, you will know what happened. Alright, hence for a good gauge would be to look at 2024 for a 3-bedroom in OCR. We are looking at around 2,200 PSF, for RCR around 2005, 2006, for CCR around 3,000 PSF. Next, let's take a look at the average quantum for these regions. For the average quantum of a 3-bedroom new launch, we are looking at around 2.2 million for OCR region, 2.6 to 2.7 for RCR or the city fringe locations, and around 3.3 million for the CCR locations. So for River Green and Promenade Peak, I will be using the quantum play strategy this time to determine if the price is safe to enter and if it is easy for you to exit next time. So why are we using this strategy here? That is because in today's market, especially in the CCR region, affordability is the key. Let us first compare the current entry price for River Green and Promenade Peak against what other people have paid for a 3-bedroom on average in the various regions for the new launches. What this shows is today, if you're able to get a 3-bedroom in River Green at 2.25 million to 2.5 million, can I say that you're actually paying OCR price for a CCR location? Similarly for Promenade Peak, because of the bigger size, it is also a bit higher priced. But even so, can I say that if you are able to get a 3-bedroom here for 2.7 to 3 million, you are actually paying RCR price for a central location. Why is this important? Let me explain. So earlier we mentioned the average price for a 3-bedroom condo in OCR would cost you around 2.2 million, right? So today, imagine if you are a buyer and you bought a 3-bedroom for 2.2 million in the new launch market in the OCR. What is the minimum profit you want to sell for next time? Let's assume a 300,000 profit, which I hope is reasonable. So you need to sell at around 2.5 million, right? Assuming you manage to buy a River Green unit, a 3-bedder unit at 2.25 million. Do you think it is easier for you to sell a 3-bedroom in the CCR for 2.5 million or a 3-bedroom OCR location for 2.5 million? Right? Which one do you think has a lower risk for you? Now, let's use the same concept for Promenade Peak. Assuming someone bought a 3-bedder in the RCR today for 2.6 million, right? And you want to sell for 2.9 million next time for a similar 300,000 profit. Imagine today you are a buyer and you manage to buy a unit in Promenade Peak for 2.7 million. How much would you want to sell next time? Maybe 2.9 million, right? In the future, is it easier for you to sell Promenade Peak in the CCR region for 2.9 million or 3-bedder in the RCR region for 2.9 million? Which one, again over here, has a lower risk? Hence, in my opinion, the quantum for both projects is very low risk, when we compare with what other buyers have already paid for in less central locations. Because you are able to exit easier at the same price in a better location next time, as affordability becomes more and more important. Would you prefer to buy into a more central location for the same budget? Of course, I'm not saying every unit in Promenade Peak or River Green are low risk. At a certain price level, you may have to start looking outwards for other opportunities with lower risk level. Now, let us take a look at, just now we were looking at new launch. Now, let's do a price analysis with the surrounding 99 years resale condos for comparison. We'll take a look at some other younger ones of similar project size for fair comparison. Let's compare Irwell Hill Residence, Riviera and Martin, which are all 99 years and of pretty similar sizes, right? If you look at the chart today, the average price for a 3-bedroom in this area is about 3.3 million, with prices reaching as high as 3.58 million, 5.5 or even 5.1 million. What this shows you today is that if you wish to buy a 3-bedroom in this area today, the average budget you need to have is around 3.3 million. Now, let's compare with the price of River Green and Promenade Peak and see if the numbers continue to make sense. Again, assuming today you are a buyer who bought a 3-bedroom resale unit in River Valley for 3.3 million today, let's assume you are okay with a 300,000 profit again. You will need to sell at 3.6 million. What if you bought River Green at 2.25 million? Do you need to sell at 3.6 million? And what is 3.6 million? Can I say that it is actually a hope? You're hoping to sell at 3.6 million. And can I say that hope equals to risk? So for River Green, you just need to sell at 2.6 million to make the same 300,000 profit. Which one is easier to sell? 2.6 million or 3.6 million? This price gap of 1.1 million, right, is exactly the safety net that we are talking about today. Similarly, for Promenade Peak, we also don't have to sell at 3.6, right? We can easily sell at 3 million to make the same 300,000 profit. Hence, depending on the price level that you buy in during launch, there is a great disparity in the price gap today between these two projects and the resale market, now which provides a good safety net for entry and easy exit next time. In summary, if you are someone who is looking to stay in the central region with proximity to MRT and mall at your doorstep, this could be something for you to consider. And if the price quantum don't undergo a big jump during launch, this could give you a really good safety net in the future. I've come to the end of my analysis for these two upcoming projects which are going to launch in River Valley area on 17 July. If you have stayed through this video, thank you very much. I hope it has provided you with some insights to help you decide if these two projects are a good fit for you. The preview will last until 30th July. If you are keen to explore these projects, feel free to get in touch with me for more information or to arrange for viewing at the show flat. If you like my content, please like and subscribe. Thank you and all the best.